Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Devi Chella, Group Head Formulation Development from Novartis Sandoz Development Center. Welcome to my talk on digital twins powered by machine learning for real-time insights in pharmaceutical R&D and manufacturing. Here's today's agenda. We'll discuss a little bit about the digital twins overview, machine learning based digital twins, few additional topics of interest, followed by key takeaways from this talk. Let's get started. We stand on the brink of a technological revolution that will fundamentally alter the way we live, work, and relate to one another. In its scale, scope, and complexity, the rate at which this transformation is happening is unlike anything that mankind has experienced before. The first industrial revolution, which used water and steam to mechanize production, the second used electric power, the third used automation and information technology to automate production, and now the fourth revolution, which is building on top of the third, is the digital revolution, which began since the middle of the last century, also known as Industry 4.0, and in specific to the pharma sector, it's called as the Pharma 4.0. It is characterized by a fusion of technologies that is blurring the lines between the physical, digital, and the biological spheres. In today's talk, I will be discussing one of the key concepts called as the digital twin technology powered by machine learning, which helps us to keep up the pace of Industry 4.0. So what is a digital twin? A digital twin is a virtual representation of a physical product or process used to understand and predict the physical counterpart's performance characteristics. They can be used to predict and optimize the process parameters before performing actual experiments or investing in the physical assets. By incorporating multi-physics simulations, data analytics, machine learning, and artificial intelligence capabilities, digital twins will be able to predict the impact of various parameters on the product performance. When it comes to the digital twins in pharma, there are a lot of unit operations that happen parallelly and sequentially, starting from the raw materials, excipients, and the API to the final product, irrespective of the finished dosage form, be it injectables, oral solid dosages, suspension, liquid suspension, so on and so forth. So depending on the type of the complexity involved or the level of the complexity involved in the twin, these digital twins can be categorized as simple digital twins, computational digital twins, machine learning digital twins, or even machine twins if they are also integrated with PAC tools for some real-time insights. Coming to the process digital twins in pharma, here I have listed a few examples of processes where digital twins can be made, including mixing, homogenization, spray drying, so on and so forth. So if we consider process digital twin as a black box, the various inputs will be material properties, including the CMAs, process conditions, including CPPs, equipment characteristics, etc. And what will be predicted as an outcome from these process digital twin will be the impact of all these parameters on the product quality. So if you are wondering why do we need to be able to predict the impact of these parameters on the product quality, or why do we need these digital twins? And according to the US FDA guidelines, the assessment of risk is important during the filing of the manufacturing process. Risk assessment can aid in identifying the effect of material attributes and process parameters potentially have on the product CQAs. This assessment needs to be performed throughout the product development process, and this during a process development in pharmaceutical manufacturing is essential in order to understand the linkage of process parameters and material attributes on the product CQAs. So these digital twins aid in such risk assessment as well as enhanced product and process understanding without the need for heavy reliance on physical experimentation, which are highly prohibitive at manufacturing scale, where we usually target right first time and best in quality. Here I have given the example of a powder blending process where the inputs and outputs from a process digital twin are showcased. The inputs being material properties including PSD, flow characteristics, process conditions including RPM, number of revolutions, equipment geometry, and the outputs being blend uniformity and blend flow characteristics. On similar lines, this is how the inputs and outputs for a coating digital twin would look like. Um, and again here, the inputs and outputs for a wet granulation digital twin, where the inputs are particle size, viscosity, in the material properties, process conditions including kneading time, impeller speed, etc. And the outputs being granule size distribution, percentage drug loading, which in turn decide the drug release rate, tablet hardness, etc. Here you can see an example of simple digital twin and complex digital twin. What are the different measures that will decide whether the digital twin is a simple digital twin or a complex digital twin, with the blending as an example. Again, here on this slide with blending as an example, the architecture used in leveraging blending digital twin for needs in powder blending is showcased. So there are the inputs at different scales, including equipment characteristics, process conditions, individual powder characterization, and depending on whether it's a simple digital twin, complex digital twin, or a machine learning digital twin, the level of insights provided for decision making would be different. Coming to the machine learning based digital twins, the crux of today's talk. Leveraging data-based machine learning approaches for predictive capabilities is a growing area of interest with great potential to provide real-time insights in product or process development lifecycle. Conventionally, in process industries, simulation software is used to obtain insights on processes without having to do the actual experiments, which are highly expensive and time consuming. However, there are scenarios where even simulations are treated as time consuming because these are heavily computationally intensive and also would need expert users to run the simulations. And this would often hamper the usage of CFD, PBM, or DEM based detailed simulation by the pharmaceutical scientists. In such scenarios, these machine learning models uh, can be applied on simulation data or existing historical data to provide the practitioner on the fly detailed level insights obtained from the simulation, as well as these can be used for process understanding and real-time decision making. There are few case studies where we have tested these machine learning models, and one case study that I have brought to demonstrate here today is the one on the angle of repose, where literature data is used from 53 simulations and the machine learning model was developed. The idea here is to be able to predict the desired output from the machine learning model without having to do the actual DEM simulation. Here is a snapshot of the data used from the literature for developing this machine learning model. And here is a list of top algorithms used for supervised learning. In this case, linear regression did not seem to capture the underlying physics well. And we had to try a few additional algorithms and XGBoost. Neural networks seem to represent the data very well. So this data showed that an initial investment in simulation helped to build a powerful ML model with good predictive capability for providing real-time insights to the practitioner, and it also eliminated the need for future simulations within the parametric space where simulations were already performed. With that note, I will now be moving to additional areas of interest, throwing light on some of the futuristic areas where we need to invest a little more time in the pharmaceutical sector. One emerging area is physics-informed neural networks. Before talking about physics-informed neural networks, I want to draw your attention to some of the complex processes in pharmaceutical development. Let's say granulation. So granulation processes are highly complex and nonlinear in nature, making it difficult to capture all the physical phenomena inside a physics-based model. And data-driven models also have not been successful in leveraging the underlying physics to extract patterns from the data. In such kind of complex processes, there is a need to integrate both the laws of physics as well as data-driven models for more accurate prediction of quality attributes and identify the effects of each input parameter on them. This assessment can further be used to identify process characteristics, which can predict fair use of, let's say, if we take the example of granulation again, fair use of granulation batches before further processing, thus reducing the manufacturing costs. One other potential application of AI/ML algorithms is the ability to identify patterns or trends in data from existing data pool and predict B study success while providing insights on the combination of the right choice of excipients, composition of formulation, the technology that will improve the probability of success in B studies, so on and so forth. So this we believe is one potential application of AI/ML algorithms to help identify patterns in historical data. With that, coming to few concluding remarks, machine learning based digital twins, once developed, can provide on-the-fly and in-depth insights, which can be easily deployed by pharmaceutical scientists and are also not heavily computationally intensive like the conventional simulations after an initial investment of some time and efforts. The potential of machine learning can be utilized in minimizing the bio-study burden on complex development programs and also in minimizing the number of experiments, cost of development, and accelerating product development timelines. Digital twins powered by machine learning can be deployed for real-time insights in pharmaceutical R&D and manufacturing. And digital twins powered by physics-informed neural networks is an emerging area that excelled over predictions made by pure data-driven neural networks, and it holds great potential for modeling complex processes like high-shear granulation. AI/ML algorithms can be used to identify trends, patterns, and data from existing data pool, historical data, and predict BE study success while providing insights on the combination of the right choice of excipients, composition of formulation, technology, etc. That will improve the probability of success in BE studies. With that note, we request the FDA to invest time in these futuristic approaches and provide support in establishing the framework or guidances for including insights from such data-driven emerging technologies in regulatory submissions. Thank you.